The weekly question and answer session for the Prime Minister in Parliament, and today one subject dominated a crowded and sometimes noisy House of Commons chamber: the economy.
Central to the recovery of jobs is the resumption of lending by banks to businesses. And I discussed this as not only a national problem, but a problem in many countries with President Sarkozy when I met him last evening. We have all taken measures to recapitalise our banks and to ensure stability. We continue to work on increasing access to funding. Having recapitalised the banks, we want to ensure that they will extend availability of credit at competitive prices. Further announcements will be made tomorrow when we have a meeting with the banks. We are also considering new mechanisms by which, for example, the European Investment Bank can give financial support where traditional institutions are not able to do so. And we urge banks not to change the terms and charges for existing lending to small businesses in our country. The President and I also talked about the role of fiscal policy in the future. I've been discussing this with other leaders. It is right that fiscal policy support monetary policy at this time.
It was vital the banks resumed lending, he said.
We have given liquidity to the banks. We have recapitalised the banks. Now we must have the resumption of lending by the banks. And if the resumption of lending can take place by making new decisions to do so, that is exactly what we will do. At the same time, we will look at other instruments by which banks or financial institutions can give money to small businesses to increase their cash flow. So we will look at everything that is necessary so that further to the recapitalisation of the banks, we have the resumption of lending that is necessary.
Mr Brown also turned to the future and outlined further initiatives.
We are continuing to spend huge amounts of money on regeneration and education, and that, I may say, is the right thing to do to prepare ourselves and to equip ourselves for the global challenge that lies ahead. And it is also right that we raise the education leaving age to 18 to enable people who are in work at 16 and 17 to get skills 1 day a week, to enable people to get part-time learning as well as full-time learning, to give opportunity to all and not just to some.